Now, in case you've been living under a rock, you would know that the Indiana Pacers is in the Eastern Conference Finals against the New York Knicks. After their last night's overtime win, 138 to 135. It's not that they won, it's how they won. And more importantly, it's how they got here. So let's take a look back and let's talk about how this team all started. It all took place in the 2020 pandemic NBA draft. Whereas you see the top 15 picks, you might notice a few names that not only are on the Pacers, but was very key to their win last night. Hitting game-winning buckets, go-ahead buckets, making key plays, a lot of that. Quality minutes for guys that are on the starters, and a guy who plays a very key role and finishes games. But then what if I told you the Indiana Pacers didn't draft any of them, but it was a part of their vision to get all of them? And that is what we see now. So let's take a deep dive and let's look into it. Now let's look at the 2020 NBA draft. I'm going to start with the top 3 picks, which are the most notable, and then we're going to fast forward. Now let's go number 1. We all know Anthony Edwards went number 1 to the Minnesota Timberwolves, currently in the playoffs. He's Western Conference Finals, playing for the Timberwolves. I don't think anybody will ever argue with that pick. Pick 2, you have James Wiseman out of Memphis, who at the time was a very good player, and for what the Golden State Warriors needed, it looked like the right pick. It just didn't pan out. You know, those things happen. Pick 3, you had LaMelo Ball, who was the point guard. We all know LaMelo coming out, went overseas, followed the Brandon Jennings route, but we all knew, what this was about. But now we're going to fast forward to the draft to pick 8, and this is where it starts with Obi Toppin. As you see, originally he was drafted to the New York Knicks. Obi Toppin was traded to the Pacers back in 2023 for 2 second-round picks. This was the 8th overall guy, Obi Toppin. Very good player, has the all-around game. Y'all know what he did as a top overall pick. He comes off the bench sometimes for the Pacers, but it's not an actual bench. It's like a Russell Westbrook type of bench role. This is the one guy. This was the first vision for the Pacers, and it took them in 2023 to be able to get him. Then you have the main man behind it all, which is Tyrese Halliburton. Halliburton already even have a song dedicated to him where his name is mentioned.
With the Halliburton.
Their problem was they already had a point guard in De'Aaron Fox. So they shipped them away for a package so they can get them a big man to run the pick and rolls with De'Aaron Fox, as they went and got 3-time All-Star Domantas Sabonis. Only problem is now with the Kings is now they need a point guard again, and they got rid of both. So no longer Fox or Tyrese is on the roster. A lot of them, well, the main ones respect him, as he was on Team USA, but he was voted most overrated player in the NBA. And he's been balling like a man. That's the game winner on them. So, that's Tyrese. He got there from the Kings. And now we go on a little later in the draft. Later on that summer, after getting their point guard back in February, where they got Tyrese Halliburton, the Pacers went and pulled the trigger on another trade as they got Aaron Nesmith from the Boston Celtics. It's crazy because that was the same year Boston was in the NBA Finals. They had lost to the Golden State Warriors 4-2. If you watched last night, Aaron was very huge. He's a sniper, sharpshooter's going to go out and going to get you a bucket. Play both ends. He looked a lot like Tracy McGrady last night. So that was a big move for the Pacers, as all 3 of these guys were the main guys to get them the win and then game 1. And this team has a chance to go on a serious run. People already don't like them in the league, don't like this Pacers team, but they're a feisty bunch. They're physical. Halliburton, however far he's going to take them. He doesn't turn the ball over much, so that's key. They trust him, obviously, because he's been hitting game winner after game winner. But this Pacers team, they could be something special. So we're going to see how this all play out, but it all started in 2020, and that vision since last year and now this year. Back-to-back years making the Eastern Conference Finals. It's that time for them to take that next step already. If not, they're not going anywhere. And next year, we'll be having this conversation again. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Do y'all think the Pacers can win this series and win it all? Or which one do y'all think they're going to do? But let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching.